The True Story of Jadav Payeng, the Boy Who Grew a Forest. Written by Sophia Gholz, illustrated by Kayla Harren. The Boy Who Grew a Forest. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is now. Proverb. In India, on a large river island, among farms and families hard at work, there lived a boy who loved trees. Trees meant shade, food, and shelter for many. But each rainy season, floodwaters swallowed more and more of the beautiful tree-covered land. The boy's precious island was shrinking, eroding away with the rushing river, leaving empty sandbars behind. The boy witnessed animals stranded on those sandbars, their homes destroyed. He feared that if animals withered without trees, people would too. The boy shared his fears with the village. The elders explained that the only way to help animals was to create new homes for them. They gifted the boy with 20 bamboo saplings. Alone, he canoed down the muddy river. He wished he could cover all the land with trees, but a large sandbar nearby was a place to start. The land was too barren for animals, the shores too sandy for leafy trees. Would bamboo grow? The boy hoped. Determined, he began to plant. 1 shaft, 2, then 3. Each day he watered the saplings by hand, sweat trickling down his face and chest. He built a watering system to help and lugged heavy buckets from the river. His arms grew tired, his back sore. Still, each day he tended to the plants, and over time the bamboo patch grew into a healthy thicket. The boy was proud of his work, and he worried it wouldn't be enough to stop the swelling river or to provide shelter for animals. If he wanted more plants to grow, he would have to create a richer soil. The boy carried cow dung, earthworms, termites, and angry red ants that bit him on their journey to their new home. He brought seeds from neighboring villages, over trails, through brush, down the river. Each day he planted. As years passed and the boy grew, so did a forest. 10 acres, 20 acres, then 40. Wildlife returned for the first time in many years. Buffalo, one-horned rhinos, snakes, gibbons, migratory birds, and elephants. The man's forest teemed with life and diversity. Not everyone was happy. Fear swept over the villages when tigers arrived. So the man planted more grasses to attract small animals that would help keep the tigers happy in the forest. Elephants wandered into neighboring farms to feast on the crops. So the man planted more fruiting trees to help feed the hungry elephants. Some wanted to harvest the forest to build homes, but the man was there to plant anew. Others tried to hunt the animals for their horns and fur, but the man was there to protect. Few thought the forest would last, but the man believed in its strength. Now in India, on a large river island, among wildlife and trees as tall as buildings, there lives a man who has planted a forest. The forest is called Mulai after a man named Jadav Payeng, who never stopped planting and pruning and protecting. Only by growing plants the earth will survive. Jadav Payeng. Jadav Payeng grew up near Majuli Island, one of the world's largest river islands located in the Brahmaputra River in northeastern India. As a young teenager, Jadav witnessed the death of hundreds of snakes that floodwater stranded on a barren sandbar near the island. Heartbroken over the snakes, in 1979, Jadav began planting to help his beloved island and the wildlife who shared it with him. Since then, defying all odds, Jadav has quietly planted, nurtured, and grown an entire forest on his own. Named after him, Mulai Forest is said to be over 1,300 acres. That's larger than 900 football fields and is still growing. The forest is now home to thousands of different species of plants and trees. This unexpected sanctuary provides life and shelter for many animals, some endangered. In 2008, almost 30 years after he planted his first seedlings, Jadav's forest was discovered by local authorities tracking a herd of elephants. Since then, Jadav has been recognized worldwide and received numerous awards and honors, including the title, the Forest Man of India. Jadav hopes his mission will inspire others to make the world a greener place. If one person can plant an entire forest, can you imagine what many could do? Author's note: Jadav's love of the earth and his ideas on reforestation are important concepts that I also hold dear. I grew up in northern Florida, surrounded by forest. My father was a prominent forest ecologist. My mother was a science writer, and our house was constantly filled with visiting science from around the world. I especially enjoyed listening to their tales of the environment in faraway places, and as I grew older, I developed a deep love for our planet and a keen interest in sharing its wonderful stories. I hope that Jadav's story triggers your inner ecologist, as it did mine. If you plant a seed today, you never know what it might become. So plant on. The end.